one of the biggest focuses now in medicine is to try to prevent all of these hospital infections that occur. I mean, hospital-acquired infections, healthcare-acquired infections are of epidemic proportions, and the bacteria have become more and more resistant to drugs, and these organisms will continue to adapt, and we have to continue to adapt to stay on top of this. It's a huge problem, so that's why we're focusing on this. That's why we talk. That's why we're so picky. You know, scrub 10 times on every finger. You know, all that stuff. All of this stuff has to do with preventing hospital-acquired infections. Inside, sweeping any debris out. Right. All the way out. So this is a Mayo stand. You can control it with your foot. All the way out to the edge, and then all the way around the edge. Question: is this tray sterile? No, it's not. It's clean. It's as clean as I can get it. I'm going to put my sterile pack on top of it, and I'm going to create a sterile field on top of it, but the tray is as clean as I can get it. I didn't put the tray in the autoclave. It's not sterile. What is sterile is the inside of this pack. Is the outside of this pack sterile? No, it is not. I touched it. So the outer layer of this pack is now not sterile. Yes, it's clean, but it's not sterile. The inside of the pack is. So the first thing that I'm going to do is check my tape. And this indicator tape indicates it has not been autoclaved because I didn't bother running it today. But if it had been, and it should have been, these bands would be dark. Okay, so I have my tray with my initials and what kind of pack it is, right? So I'm going to put that here.
I want to add here to label and date your pack. You might have a lot of these packs and you need to know what you're looking for. Also, these packs are good for 30 days after sterilization. So it's important to have the date on there too.
So there isn't any question, you know, what this is and who did it, right? If there's a problem, let's see. Okay, so now what I have to do is I have to think about maintaining the integrity of my field, right? So I'm not going to pass over my field at all. Remembering the general rule that 1 inch on the outside is fair game, right? So I'm going to grab that point that I made and flip that, all right? I didn't go whoop like that, right? So boom, okay? Now I see the points pointed that way, right? I'm not going to grab it from this side, right? Because anytime you pass over the top of the field, it's no good. You have to start over. So see my point? I'm going to go over to this side, grab that point, and just open. And then I'm going to go over to this side, grab that point, and open. If I need to shift it, I can, and grab this point over here, shift it. And then this side, grab that point, and open. Okay. Now same thing for the inner wrap. Grab that point, right? Grab this point, open. I'm going to come over here. Open. Here. Open. I'm not passing over the top of my field in any way. I can touch the outer inch of this, and that's it. Shift it like that. Okay. Inside my autoclave run, I had my sponge quartet, and I had a basin, and I had a non-fenestrated drape. Let me show you how to add these things to your field. Okay? So I want to add a basin to my field with some sterile water in it. Okay? So I'm not going to open it and grab it from the inside. Okay? I'm going to open it using the packaging, right? And I'm going to drop it into my field without touching it. If I touch this package to my muslin base, not sterile. Start over, right? Anything, any little minor thing, you have to start over. I want to add some sterile water to the basin, right? So what am I going to do? Well, I take the cap off and I'm going to set the cap down somewhere else like this. You want to pour off a little bit first because somebody might put the cap like that. So there could be bacteria on the lip of your sterile water. So I'm going to set that, and I'm going to pour a little bit off. And then just off to the edge, about 8 inches above my basin, I'm just going to pour some in there. Okay? I didn't pass over the field. Now I might want to arrange things in my field. And I have a sponge forceps in the pack, right? Remember how I packed it? Like handles toward the part that you open. So I can open it like this and fold it back. And then, so now I'm going to touch the handle. The handle is not sterile now, but the end of it is. So now I can, as long as the handle part doesn't pass over my field, I can manipulate these things on here. I can just make this nice and neat for the provider. And here's my indicator, so I always want to check my indicator too to make sure that it was sterile inside. I'll leave that out. These gauze are also sterile, those can be used. But I'm not going to toss this into my field because the part that I held with my hand is not sterile now. And the last thing is, so now I have the sterile field. There are some real strict rules about dealing with the field. And one is, I can't pass over it, right? But there's some other rules too. I can't turn my back to it. I can't leave the room. I can't do anything where I didn't know what happened to the field, right? So what I'm going to do is I have to leave the room. I'm going to drape it. So this is a little tricky, but you can do it. Okay, opening the drape, same way you open the other stuff that's sterile on the inside. Okay, you open that wrapper. Being very careful just to touch the wrapper and not the drape. And here we have the drape, and we have little corners. So you want to just grab a corner, because again, an inch is fair game. But don't grab the big folded part, because that's the middle of it, right? So I'm going to grab the corner, keeping it above my waist. I'm going to lift it up and just let it drape down. I'm going to grab the other corner. I don't know if you can see where I hold this above my waist, but I'm holding it by the corners, just letting it hang straight down, okay? Over here, and I'm just going to drop this over my field. And I'm not going to go like that, right? Because then I passed over my field. You can't do that. You have to drop straight down, and it'll flow out, okay? Now, straight down like a bed sheet. Okay, you can do this without going like that over your field. You just drop it straight down like that. Now my sterile field is draped. Now I can leave.